Hey guys, I think I got everything set up. Lighting, notepads. Okay. I might have just done this 3 times and we're just going to go for it. I get way too caught up into like what's going on over here. And anyway, life of a podcaster and I guess YouTuber now. And I keep forgetting that most of the people, this is going on my podcast. So you're not actually going to see all this mess that's going on around me. And those of you that are watching on YouTube, it's life, people. That's just what it is. So I want to jump right in and start talking about the next law that I think is really, really important. And it's called the law of compensation. It's also known as the law of karma, or karma, I guess, not law of karma, but karma. So basically what it says is karma. What you put out, you're going to get back. I say what you put out, you're going to get back tenfold. And one of the catchphrases when dealing with karma is karma's a bitch. And if you've been somebody who throughout your life, that is when you talk about karma, it's usually you're not thinking positively. You're not saying, wow, I hope karma comes and bites you in the ass, and that's a positive thing. You're usually coming from a negative standpoint. And that's really unfortunate because, everything from what we've talked about, the law of assumption, vibration, the vibrational energy that we have, whatever's coming out we're attracting it back. That's what law of attraction says. Like attracts like. So it doesn't have I'm not going to attract this because it's not good for me. It doesn't do that. So if you're somebody that's really positive and you're focused on, positive outlook, attracting income, a specific person, those kinds of things, and you're thinking positively about it and have a good, positive, happy mindset, and you go, you determine that by the way you feel, then that's what you're going to attract. But if you're somebody that just kind of wakes up every day and you're grumpy, and you know how when something happens, bad happens, it always happens in threes. God, this day sucks. And then you get in the car and it just sucks even more. And then you get to work, it sucks even more. And what you're doing is you're just attracting more of what's going on inside of you. Now, with law of compensation, I'm going to talk about this in direct connection with your wage, your income, your monetary prosperity, and how that is affected by law of compensation. And again, the laws are very clear. And so if you I don't even think it's about believing in them, because you don't have to believe in them, because they're working no matter if you believe or not. Energy is energy. Like attracts like. I mean, it just is. It's like the law of gravity. You may not understand the law of gravity, but you know that gravity is keeping us on Earth and we're not floating out in space. And these laws work the same way. So it doesn't actually matter if you believe a word I'm saying. But if you're wondering, and the reason you're listening or watching is because you're having a series of events or a life that maybe is just not working out the way you thought. And you're spending, 2 minutes, well, I thought it was going to be this. Then you spend 99% of your day in all the negative, and you're wondering why all this stuff keeps hitting you. Why is it when you get sad and depressed, you get sick? Why is it, everything's connected. So what the law of compensation and karma is talking about, and I'm going to use this, I learned about this a few months ago, and there's not as much out there about these other laws outside of law of attraction, law of vibration, law of assumption. There's not a lot out there on all these other laws, inspired action, and some of the other ones, cause and effect. But it's all very important because it does come together. Law of attraction just has the, I guess the most popular phrasing, but it's really law of vibration. But the law of compensation, I'm going to specifically address people that I know, which are salespeople in any industry, whether that you're a car salesman, insurance salesman, retail, realtor, real estate agent, or somebody like me that does a little bit of everything, but I also paint and make things, and I have to come up with pricing, and I never felt like I was getting paid for what I did, and I didn't know why. And when I look up, like, what's the average cost per hour for painting? What is what does a writer make? What does this make? And I would like try to come up with some mathematical equation from out in the internet world or research, like, well, this is what the average, artist gets paid for this size project. And it just never felt right with me. It just felt I put a lot of time and feeling and effort into my pieces, and they turn out really, really well. They're really good quality, and you can get them at a great price. But every time when I'm in that struggle, I'm finding I'm not really getting what I thought my piece was worth. And again, it could be a sign, it could be a poem, it could be just anything. And so if you struggle with that, I just didn't understand it. Like, I'm comparative, okay, judgmental. I'm looking at the quality of stuff that I do, the amount of hours, which I do less hours, better quality. And why are these people selling stuff that's like, just not, it's not going to last. My stuff's going to last you 25 years. Why is somebody paying 2 to 3 times more for something that won't? And so that's what brought up this, digging and searching, and, there has to be a way. And people talk a lot about the imposter syndrome, and I really don't understand that as much, because I just kind of went on the journey here with the laws. But the law of compensation actually made perfect sense. And it's not that I'm sitting here saying, like, they don't think my piece is worth this much. They don't think my artwork is worth this much. They don't think my time and energy of designing is worth that much. They don't know the value. They don't see my value. But I had to take a hard look in the mirror. And how were they supposed to see my value? How were they supposed to see my worth? How were they supposed to choose my things or my creations over somebody else's when I didn't believe it myself? The reason I was struggling so much with, oh my gosh, do I charge $300? Do I charge $400? Oh my gosh, I'll give it away for $150. I just want somebody to have it. Oh my gosh, just get in their house. And that really was the internal struggle really had nothing to do, once again, with what was going on in the 3D. It had nothing to do with my customers or clients, nothing. And I've proven this over and over and over. I've recreated exact projects and make 3 times as much from them. And one thing changed. I knew my value. I understood my value. I didn't question my value. And not necessarily value, because that can go in different ways. Not necessarily value as a woman or a person, because I do value myself in that, but really as an artist, as a creator, as this person, as an expert in this field that I really do know a lot about, and I know what I'm doing, and it's good. And, when you hear people talk like that, especially social media world, it's like, oh my, you're so cocky, you're so egotistical, you're so arrogant. Oh my gosh. Yes. Because if you don't believe in your own value, if you don't believe in your work, if you don't believe you're worth it, then how can you expect anybody else to believe in it at all? That's what you're putting out. Uncertainty. I'm not sure. It's good. It's not that good. Oh, I could have done better. Question. Oh, maybe they'll like it. Maybe they won't. When you put things on the market, it doesn't matter what it is. You could be a plumber. You could be an AC guy. You could be an accountant. It doesn't matter. And think about, if you don't believe me, and you don't have to believe me, it's true regardless whether you believe me or not, but think about people you've run into, and you're going to see them. Maybe it's, maybe it is somebody that's doing painting, or somebody that's helping you find clothes, or somebody that's helping you do something. And you get this vibe from them, like, they don't seem very confident. They don't seem very put together. They don't seem very positive. And that's what's going on, is because you're dealing with a person that doesn't know and own their value in that service or that they're providing. And again, value goes much deeper in, my value as a human, my value as a mother, my value as a woman, as a man. really along the same lines, but in this particular one with law compensation, I want to keep it with the compensation. So it's part of, I believe they call it the 5 signs of wealth. And what people buy from you, regardless of the service you offer, it doesn't matter. What they buy from you is your value. What they pay for is your value. And if they value you more than this person over here, or this business or whatever, they are willing to compensate you more. But they won't feel that from you, that confidence level, and that unless you accept it. And so when you're going into selling anything, I used to do insurance sales, and it took me a minute to get, like, back in the day, we used to do cold calling. Y'all have no idea what that is. So you knock on a door, hi, I'm an insurance salesman, here's my card, blah, blah. And it can be very intimidating. And those who do phone sales, I never did that. Well, actually, that's not true. I just lied. Oh my gosh. I did it for AT&T, and I won an award the first 30 days because it was a universal card. We were calling people up and giving it away. And here's the thing. That's what I thought we were doing. I thought the job, it was outbound calls. I'm going to call Miss Sally Sue. She's 70 years old. Hey, this is Jennifer at AT&T Universal Card Services. I'm just going to let you know that you've been approved. May have forgot the word pre-approved. This is 25 years ago, so I don't think I'll be sued. And yeah, we got a card. Oh, really? Wow, I didn't apply. Oh, no, it's because you're such a valued customer. Let me just get some information for you, and I'll get that sent out to you. That was it. That's all I did. And I couldn't figure out why everybody in this call center, there's like all these contests. I'm like, look, I'm here to do a job. It was a nighttime job. I already worked 2 jobs during the day, had a little child. And I'm going, wow. And I'm like, and so we had a call sheet, and we had, a quota or a goal at the end of every night. And I was at like 99% every night. And the only time I didn't get one was because they didn't answer the phone. Then I got an award. This is a true story. 30 days later, people are like, wow, you're so, wow, you just go in there. You're just, oh my gosh. And then it happened to be, they said this call may be recorded. Well, they recorded a call, and it was, just getting your information. So I send you a credit card. I don't know. APR was, 17%. And there was an elderly person on the phone, and she had a really hard time, like, finding her social security number and all that. And so I was so kind to stay on the phone for an hour. Oh, honey, I'll help you. Yeah, don't worry. And we talked. And they were, gave me a customer service award. I actually still have a plaque, I think, somewhere in storage that says, wow, top sales, youngest sales rep, all these, accolades. And I'm going, I don't understand why this is hard. And they were like, wow, you're just so confident and good. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. And so when they're doing the speech, doing all this congratulations to me, I was listening to what they're saying. And they're like, yeah, for her to really, build trust with the customer and know that we're going to take care of them. And this card is really good for them. And, to really, to sell it like that. I'm like, selling it? We're selling something? I thought... I didn't, because the training was just so boring, and anybody that knows me for 5 minutes know I have a 5-minute attention span, hence going off on this story. But I had no idea these were cold calls, warm calls, or prospects. It was just people were pre-approved, and we were calling saying, hey, and I read this, I didn't do anything wrong. I read the script, but in my tone and when I got there, I was like, this is the easiest job I've ever had, even though I was in my 20s. Easiest job that was I? I think I was 20 years old. It might have been 19. And I'm like, people are struggling. They're only getting 2 people to get the card. I'm like, I've gotten 50 a night. I'm just, got bonus. Oh my God, I was making tons of money. And it's because I knew my value. And my value was, I was trained, I was hired to do a job. And what I thought my job is you're giving me a list, you guys just don't have time to call them. Okay, yeah, I'll call them. Yeah, let me call them. And go ahead and get these cards out. Because y'all are so busy, AT&T. You're just so busy. Y'all don't have enough people. So you need us to get out these cards for these. And I'll be honest, probably 19 or 20, I probably didn't know a lot about credit cards anyway. So I went in knowing my value to the company, I'm going to help you. AT&T, I'm going to put you on the map with these cards. And so that's all I was doing. So I knew my value of I know I'm capable of dialing a phone number, reading a script, like, hi, and I read a script, and by, 10th time I'd memorized it, spinning around in my chair sometimes with the headset on, let's begin it, and doing all this stuff. And I was just nailing it. They trusted me. They trusted the tone. Oh, I always got caught with the tone of your voice. I'm like, and these people are, they're criticizing other, when we're doing doing reviews. Or, they don't like my voice. I'm like, how does somebody not like your voice? I mean, it's just the way you talk. I mean, change your voice. How? And I didn't realize it was because they were nervous about the sale. They didn't know their value, so they didn't come across, so they're not going to get the sale. I had no idea. I did it for 2 more weeks. I think it was there like 6 weeks total. And I felt so bad. Once I realized that I was actually not just, it wasn't a freebie, that they actually, I think there was even an annual percentage rate. And I told them all this, but it was in my communication because I was so confident what I was saying. It was literally like, hey, Bob, it's Jen. I got a card over here. Yeah, we got it for you. You already proved. Let me just verify. I wasn't getting their socials. I wasn't getting their information, although I was. Let me verify your social. Okay, thanks. And date of birth? Okay, well, that's what we had. Okay, yeah. Address? Yeah, great. All right. That's going to get out to you in 7 to 10 days. Boom, boom, boom. And I mean, no idea the debt I probably created with these people. And I felt horrible about it. But what was funny is after I learned that, I never made the same call again. Like I went nosedived. They thought I was on drugs. They thought I was tired. I was like, oh my God, honey, do you understand it's a credit card? Like it has a high interest rate. Now I'm in the warning stage. I don't know I'm like, oh my gosh, now I have to tell them. And so I'm literally calling people, basically reading everything at the end going, don't do this. You don't need this. Yeah, no. Well, I have 5 credit cards. Before we're like, okay, we'll just have 6. What's the big deal? And now I'm like, oh yeah, you don't need any more. Click. And then it totally changed and I walked away before I was fired. So, but you can feel your value in something you really don't even know all the details about, but I was so confident and I did great. So that put me on a trajectory though later to go into sales, and I was very successful and I always prided myself on knowing the information, and I was never able to sell something I wouldn't buy myself. So insurance, extra insurance, life insurance. I was worst salesperson at life insurance. I mean, I sold it, but that was, people want to do, $5 million of life insurance, and they have they make $60,000 a year. I'm like, this is not a inheritance. Don't go bankrupt. I mean, this is just to cover, your family for a certain period of time. And my boss said, what are you doing? I'm like, but the policies I got, here's the truth. The policies I sold and the people I took care of still have those policies 25 years later. Because they trusted what I said, they believed what I said, I believed what I was saying, and they bought from me. And they still have that stuff today. So it was pretty awesome. So you have to first kind of dig deep. And if you're having trouble specifically in the area of selling something, a service, a product that you make, I would really encourage you to spend some time meditating and meditation, breathing, quiet, look in the mirror. Hey, girl, do you think would you buy this for $500? I know how much time you put into it. Do you believe it's worth it? Do you believe your knowledge, your skill set has this value? And if you believe that, then other people will pay you for it, period. And they will. It will not be a question. Every time somebody gets started in a new venture, or even a new mindset, it takes a minute to get flowing in that state, but you absolutely can do it. And it's just completely changed my life. And specifically when you do sales or even service, when you're marketing and doing stuff like that, if you market one thing well, you're going to market let's say, there was a friend of mine that used to sell blocks. I swear to God, it was just blocks. And there's a lady on the internet, they're like, oh, I sell blocks. I'm like, I had a friend that did that. Literally made $100,000 a year selling wood blocks. And I'm like, how? She believed people needed wood blocks, and they did. And she believed that she made really great wood blocks, and she had top quality. I mean, she just believed this so much that people pay her $3 and $4 a block. from scrap wood, and she made $100,000 a year probably 10 years ago. So if you know your value and you show that you know your value, you demonstrate through your speech, through your, if it's in person, through your demeanor, through your body language, through the words, through your confidence, through your vibration of who you are, other people will pay you and pay you well for that value. Okay? So, I actually would like some comments on this. If you guys watch this, because I think there's going to be some questions, and I'm going to dive into this, kind of wrap all this back around in a few more videos to really see this at work. But at the end of the day, when we're talking about living your best life, when we're talking about attracting how to live your best life, let me say it that way, the desire to live your best life, and that looks different for you than it does for me. But there's usually a couple components that we all share. One is money, a financial abundance. But for some people, that could be like they really desire to be in that millionaire, billionaire status. They want 5 homes. They want, things and things and things. Nothing wrong with that. But for other people, they're perfectly happy with their ends meet. They go on a vacation every year. They love their babies. They take care of their family. And that's enough. There's nothing wrong with that. So while the end result, the amount may be different, or how that's packaged may be different, finances are very, very, very important to people. And it's kind of like, if you're struggling with money and you're in service or sales or working for yourself, and you're struggling with money and you're struggling with pricing and you're struggling with just trying to find that flow, that groove, you got to go back and look at yourself. Are you holding a vibrational, are you vibrating at the level of the value that you know you hold? Are you communicating that value? And here's the thing. It's not about being cocky and overselling, right? There's a lot of people out there and people, oh, they're crooks. But they're getting what they want. They're getting, the crooks attract just as well as the non-crooks. Why? Because they're focused. Because they know what they want. Their vibrational standard is, or their vibration, they know they overhype their own value, overhype their own worth, and that's what attracts. That's why terrorists are successful sometimes. That's why horrible people in history are successful at doing horrible things. Hitler, genocide. It's the law of attraction. It's not saying, okay, law of attraction is saying you're attracting something good, so you get it. You're attracting something bad. There is no good and bad. It's wanted and unwanted. That's it. And so evil people and terrible people, when you're looking at them, go, wow, he's really a jackass and he's getting all this. Or, gosh, she's really a you-know-what and she gets to do all this. You know what? You may not like them, but you need to respect the fact that they have the ability to attract it because they know their value. And that could be the one thing standing between you and financial success and freedom. The other thing, 2 things that are typically, no matter where we're at in the world, no matter our background, no matter our culture, finances, specific person, partnership, and health. Those are usually the top 3 things that, we struggle with the most: relationships, money, and health and well-being. I'm trying to say that. But it's all the same. It's all do you think you're worthy or your value to receive and manage $1 million? It's one thing. There's a lot of gurus out there that will be like, oh, just manifest in 3 days. You manifest $10,000, $10 million. Well, you have to be the person who can manage that. You have to know that you're the person that, it doesn't mean God, if you give me $10 million, I'll help the poor, feed the hungry, and save the homeless. That's not, the universe does not care what you use it for. the only thing the universe cares about. Are you aligned with that? Do you believe you deserve it? Do you believe you're worthy? Do you believe you have that value? And there's ways to determine that. But the number one way right now, today, while you're listening, is look at your life. We talked about law of polarity before. Law of polarity is the wanted and unwanted. And for every, if there's $20,000, in debt, $20,000 of equity is on the same line. It's all in the same space. I'm trying to remember the words that I used during that video, and I'll have to look it up. But wanted and unwanted. And all you have to do when you spend so much time looking over here at the knot is look this way. And sometimes what prevents you from looking this way at the things that you want and believing you can have them is not knowing your own value. Value in your work, value in who you are. And when people are out there talking about karma's a bitch, and again, that's the only time I ever hear anybody say anything about karma is karma's a bitch, karma bites you in the ass. It's usually in a negative connotation, and we need to flip that script. Karma is freaking fantastic. Karma is awesome. I need karma to bite me big in my ass because it feels good. We got to turn it around. But just like when it comes to finances and money is the root of all evil. I don't need much to survive. I just need a little bit. I just want to put a roof over my head. That's fine, but it's not going to really make you happy if you got a roof over your head and you can't feed your babies, or you got a roof over your head and you can't go do the things you want to do with your family, friends, or even by yourself. And that's just the fact. So if you're somebody, money's the root of all evil. Oh my God, I don't need no money. There's greedy sons of bitches, that kind of stuff. I don't know why I have that accent right now, but that shows where your vibrational relationship is with money. That shows where your vibrational relationship is with karma, meaning with what you're putting out there. You don't trust, you don't value it. And so you got to dig deep, guys and gals. You got to dig deep. This is some work here, but it doesn't have to be as hard as we make it. And I hope that this video has helped you in some way. Just kind of, again, go back to that. I think I'm going to do some meditation videos because people ask me about breathing and that kind of stuff. But you just have to, if you're not getting the price, if you're not being compensated for the job you are doing, the service you are offering, the product you're putting out there, you need to first go to the mirror or inside your head, inside your space, and you need to ask yourself, but do I really value myself at that? I didn't get the promotion, but do I know I possess those, like really know and trust? Everybody's a little fearful. I mean, fear, there's fear and there's terror. And it's okay to be a little, but it should be more of a giddy, like I don't know if I can do it, but I'm going to surely try. I know I can do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to try. Rather than I want it, but inside you're really screaming you don't. I think I should be paid more, but really you don't even know your own value. So how can you? If you don't know your own value, don't expect anybody else to know it. Okay? All right. Much love to you. I'm really building the podcast, by the way, and the YouTube channel. Please like and share, subscribe, and let's get this party started. Let's get some more people on the channel, and I think we're going to do some great things together. Thanks, guys.